Hello my lovies, welcome back to my channel if you're a returning subscriber, and a big fat welcome if you're new around here. My name is Azrnyx and today I'm doing a bit of a speed build. We are building something that was suggested to me by Blue Crayon, and I'm building an orphanage. Except I didn't really want to do the traditional type orphanage, because you know how you come across them all the time, they kind of look old and haunted and there's something sort of a little bit mysterious about them. I just wanted this one to be out in the open, airy, fairy, bright, beautiful. And I made it a modern orphanage for modern day Sims. So that is what we are building today. And towards the end of the build, I discovered shaders for the first time. Well, not necessarily for the first time, but like I actually downloaded them and finally got shaders working, and it's something that I've been wanting to do for ages. So I'm really glad that I finally gave it a go and finally have installed them, because I love them. Makes the game look like a totally new game. Really cool, and you'll see the effect of the shader that I use, my favorite one, which is Kaleidoscope, at the very end in the screenshots. And you might have noticed that my thumbnail was a little bit different as well, and that is due to those shader effects. It just makes editing the images so much easier as well, and I am all for ease. Anyway, the reason I decided to do an orphanage was because I posted on my community section of my YouTube page that I was running out of inspiration, and I am, which is really frustrating, especially with all of Pinterest at my fingertips. It just wasn't working out, so I decided to ask you guys for some build suggestions, and what you guys threw my way was Blue Crayon suggested to do an orphanage, and Macalillion, I'm really sorry I'm butchering your name there. It's on the page. Basically, an orphanage and something like from a TV series. Make something like that. So I thought about doing the TV series thing, and honestly, I really want to, because I'm obsessed with the Umbrella Academy right now. It's honestly like I've never fangirled so hard. Well, I mean I have, but not for a very long time. So I'm absolutely in love with Klaus. He is delicious. But if you haven't seen the Umbrella Academy, it's on Netflix. It is absolutely amazing, and I would so recommend watching it if you haven't already, or even if it's on your watch list, like fast track it, because you need it in your life. Okay. Anyway, I wanted to do the Umbrella Academy, but I couldn't for the life of me find like a decent floor plan layout of the academy itself, and that ruined me. Because it's so hard to sort of base something off a floor plan that isn't really existent, or a show that, you know, some rooms look like they don't really belong in the spot that they're supposed to be, and it wasn't working out for me, which was a huge bummer. But one day I'm going to make it happen. I swear I will. Just not maybe anytime sort of in the near future. On the orphanage at the moment though, because this is what we've gone with obviously, I wanted to make it kind of like, I suppose, like kind of like a school as well. It's definitely not a school. It is 100% an orphanage, but kind of like a boarding school, I suppose, is where I'm going with this. So there is a classroom for the kids to go and learn, and specifically I've put like a whole bunch of like those activity stations in that particular classroom, as well as a blackboard for the teacher and all that sort of stuff. And I really like it. I think it's turned out absolutely awesome. The image itself that I used for inspiration, I will put up on the screen for you right here. This is kind of it. I basically went into Pinterest and searched orphanage modern architecture or something like that, or along those lines, because those are generally the words that I throw into my Pinterest bar. Anyway, I threw those in, and this sort of came up first, and I was like, that's not an orphanage, there's no way. But then I sort of looked at it a little bit more, and I was like, you know what, that could be an orphanage. If it's not already, I'm going to make it one. So that's what we did, and I ran with it, and I am actually quite happy with the results. Especially when you throw the Kaleidoscope shader over top of it as well, because there is something about that filter that just makes even the ugliest of builds look amazing. If you don't have shaders in your game, look into it genuinely, because I can't get enough of them. Surprisingly though, this build didn't actually take me a very long time to even build, to be honest. I was really surprised by that. It took me like 2 and a bit hours, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure. Whereas usually big builds like this take me ages, like I'm talking 3 to 4 hours. So you can imagine how surprised I was when I actually got this thing into Premiere Pro and realized that it wasn't even that long and that I didn't have to cut anything out for you. I will admit now though, there were a couple of extra things that I added in the lounge, which is downstairs after I finished recording, just because when I went to take my screenshots I was like, oh, I forgot to change this wall color, or you know, a couple of bits and pieces like that. So whoops, my bad. While I'm thinking about it as well, those slats from Eco Living are absolutely amazing. I really love how I was able to overlay them on top of windows, as well as that bit just in front of the library, well, what will be the library, the bottom part on the right, left now, the bottom part that sort of comes up and is incorporated in part of like the railing as well. I was like, yes, why did I not think of that sooner? That looks awesome. So yeah, you can pretty much guarantee that you'll see that little trick again for a few times, especially in the near future. Yeah, it's a cool one. I do enjoy it. Anyways, we are working on a little bit of the outside layout now. I kind of just wanted to put like, I didn't want to have it just like concrete outside. I wanted like little grassy areas for the kids to go and sort of hang out. So that's what we end up putting as a playground in the back there, hidden away from the, I suppose, the road. And then downstairs, I had initially wanted to turn this into like a teenager room, but then I sort of thought, you know what, there's so many bedrooms upstairs already. We don't need any more spaces for kids and teenagers. We just need spaces for like babies and toddlers and stuff. So eventually I put a toddler and baby room downstairs, and where the teenagers room was supposed to go, I turned into a kitchen and a lounge and a dining room. Basically just family spaces, and it's all open plan and it all ends up looking really, really cool. But it does take a little bit of messing around and playing with. At the moment I'm working on the reception, well, I'm throwing lights on now, but downstairs on that bottom floor is the reception sort of area, and I say reception like I'm trying to sell kids. I'm not. It's an orphanage. I just sort of think it's like a main entrance, and to be honest I kind of related all my knowledge of orphanages back to Despicable Me when Gru goes to pick up his girls. So I've got like nothing, no other knowledge about an orphanage except for Despicable Me. So that's where we are. And I kind of wanted to make it a little bit more colourful and not sort of use the same old whites and creamy colours that I always use. So you'll definitely see more colours in this build, but maybe not as many as you would expect, because my version of colourful is probably someone else's version of, you know, bland. So my bad, but we gave it a go. And I wanted to use a lot of stuff from the Parenthood packs, just because that sort of screams the most sort of family friendly type vibes. Well, to me it does at least. So that was what I went with there. Hopefully this house itself is good enough for an orphanage challenge. Is there an orphanage challenge? I'm not sure. I feel like there was, but I don't know enough about it to actually be like, oh, here you go, here's a house for your orphanage challenge, because I probably missed some vital build objects that you may or may not need while doing this challenge. So I'm not sure. Apologies about that. If you do need to make changes, make changes. I'm not bothered at all for your own game. And yeah, I am probably going to leave you guys to it here. I'll stop my rambling so you guys can enjoy the rest of the video peacefully without my little Kiwi self just ruining the video for you. Oh well. I'm going now anyway, so I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope you're looking out for one another, and I will talk to you in the next one. As usual, it's available for download. The gallery link is in the description just down below. Yeah, that's it. Okay, bye.
With Lights reflecting bright green, reds and blues. You know I kinda want to disappear with you, but don't think that is what I would usually do. You know it's just like I felt the heat the moment he pressed his lips up against mine. Don't wanna this whole thing up like I do every time. Fire is burning through this silence. I can't take it, can't control this flame we started. You know I'm fire in my heart, yeah. In the quiet, all my thoughts run free. So I drown them out at night with my TV. You know I got to try to ignore these thoughts that go back and forth inside my head. I should stop before I'm in too deep and I can't go back. Fire is burning through this silence. I can't take it, can't control this flame we started. You know I'm fire in my heart, yeah. Fire is burning through this silence. I can't take it, can't control this flame we started. You know I'm fire in my heart, yeah. you think now there was never trust? Don't you say a word, cause I've heard it all. You were just pain when you felt it all. Oh. Something tells me that I won't miss it. It's the first time that we can't fix it. It's irreversible damage done. The thrill is gone. Ooh, baby, I ain't no one like you. You chose to keep the truth inside. Ooh, baby, gave my all to you. All you did was tell me lies. Something tells me that I won't miss it. It's the first time that we can't fix it. It's irreversible damage done. The thrill is gone. Once you leave me, it's over. No turning back, not today. Don't you come running back now. I'm not a home for the shame. Something tells me that I won't miss it. It's the first time that we can't fix it. It's irreversible damage done. The thrill is gone. Ooh, baby, there ain't no one like you. You chose to keep the truth inside. Ooh, baby, gave my all to you. All you did was tell me lies. Something tells me that I won't miss it. It's the first time that we can't fix it. It's irreversible damage done. The thrill is gone. I won't miss this love, no. It's irreversible damage done. The thrill is gone. Thrill is gone. My heart rages around like an ocean in my head, because there are so many things that I left unsaid. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that it's not reality. If you are echoing an ocean